Good morning. Come on in. So good to see you. Let's take a few breaths to wake up the body. Do I see you? Yes. Come up. Inhale and exhale. Good morning. Up and down and inhale. And then let your hands rest on your thighs for a moment and then wake up your back. So it's flexion and extension. Exhaling and inhaling, rounding and lifting, and then one more. And then you can drop the right shoulder towards the middle, which is a way to just rotate your back, and then drop the left shoulder to the middle to rotate. So your sternum faces the side of the room, and then it faces the side of the room. You should feel your back stretching here. Again. And now you're going to roll all the way up. And then just start. We're going to just touch the legs. I'm going to take mine off too. You're going to be heavy in the heels. And just take a set of wider squats. Heels are heavier than your toes. Knees track with your second toe. And 6. And 7. And 8, and 9, and 10. Now we're going to put it into just a normal, more neutral position for heels heavy. I'm going to turn so you can see me. The weight goes the glutes go way back. The weight goes way back. Your heels are heavier than your toes. And 5, and 6. Nice. And 7. Now it's okay to sort of tilt your chin or let your gaze go down as you're doing that so you don't have any hyperextension in your neck. Just warmed up a little bit, and we're just taking a basic set of squats here and then going up to calf raises. So lift up both heels and lower. And then when you lift your heels, each of your toe heads has equal weight. So your ankle could be tempted to kind of kick out or invert, but you want to have each toe head have equal weight. If anything, your first and second toe have a little bit more. The other thing that's happening here is you have a little ab tone to keep your ribs down and your pubic bone up. That way you don't get overly lordotic or low back arch when you come up. Good, and we may add on to this in just a little bit, but I want to get our arms. We just wanted to wake up. Grab a band, a dynaband or an elastic tubing will do. Take your band overhead. Now, as you're here, you're going to pull your band down in front of you to your chest. At the first couple, you may end up adjusting. Your neck is relaxed, your shoulders are down the back. Because the arms are overhead, there's that tendency to get lordotic or have a low back arch too much or more than usual, so just keep your ribs down a little bit. And 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So what you're doing is stretching out as you pull down. Good. And 18, 19. You got it. 20. Now we're going to take that band behind your upper back and or shoulder blade area, palms face up. Press out with your exhale. Your knees are soft. And 3, and as best you can, the wrists are not breaking, flexing, or extending wildly. They're basically neutral. And everybody looks good. Knees look soft. Good. 8. You're controlling it on the out and on the in. Keeping the shoulder blades down the back the whole time. Try 5 more. pressing out, Jean. 18, 19, and 20. Really good. Now you're going to stand on this, and depends on how heavy your band is, but for most of us, you can do 2 heels in the middle. If you find your band is extra taut, or if you're really tall or the band's short, then you may change this. You can pull up with your exhale and check your knees are soft. So you want to feel some biceps. So step on that with your heel or heels, Jean. Knees are soft. Good. 6. Nice. 7. 8. Lengthening. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. And then 20. And then release that. Take your band, one hand behind your head, one hand at your low back, and the bottom hand is an anchor. It's just going to keep it still. I'm going to come in so you can see. You're going to push the push the top hand up. So let me get in closer so you can see. And the palm is generally facing the back of your head somehow, just for that shoulder to feel better. Knees soft, everybody looks good. 5, 6. And the body will sometimes try to lean away from that arm, so just try to keep it rib over the pelvis. Resist on the return. Now we're going to shoot for 10 more. Back of the arm, lengthen the arm all the way if you can, but you're keeping the shoulder blade down the back. The back of that arm should be feeling burning. Now take this one, and I gotta move my ponytail forward. This one has a nickname of shave the back of the head. That's how close that hand is towards your head. And push. Good. Everybody looks good. 9. Good call. 10. 11. Rib tuck a little. 12. Anytime the arm's overhead, it's a place where your low back tries to hyper arch for most of us. Keep going. I'm just going to change my position. And really good. Bring that down. Grab a sip if you need it, and we'll do some upright rows. You're going to put your heels in the middle of your dynaband. Now, you can make this, to make it harder, you can go a little wider in your heels to make it easier, a little narrow. And your elbows lead the way on this. Your wrists can go along with your forearms. There you go, Cole. Yep. 5. You can have an image of your zipping up a big parka. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now your biceps might also feel it. 14, that's fine. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Now let go of one side. If you have a lighter band, you may like it on this one. I'm just going to use the same one. Your heel is, so let's say your right hand has it, your right heel has you anchored. You're going to open up like a T to the side while maintaining the body in the same position. Your hand just goes to about shoulder height, so you might like it tighter, Cole, so you don't have to lift it higher than your shoulder. In other words, step on more of the band, making the band effectively shorter. Nice. Your body is trying to be stable too, so you're not leaning away from that. And let's see if we can do 5 more. 16, if you're tired, just finish, but see if you can do reps to a fatigue. Now, let that heel down, and you're going to step on that, and find the arm is, it is a lateral raise, but you are slightly ahead of the plane of your body, just for a little more safety on that. Yep, body strong, ribs over pelvis, neck is easy and free. Lateral raise. Try up to 5 more. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now we're going to mix it up. Take your band behind your upper back again. I'm going to come in. Pretend like you're breaststroking. You're going to do 10 out wide to narrow. You go 10, palm faces up, and 10 out wide. So it's almost, another cue would be you're putting pizza sauce on a big pizza dough. And 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now go the other way. So you're going to start narrow and then go wide. 1, 2, neck is soft. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nice. Now let's grab a sip, but then we're going to take a little bit of a stretch here with the dynaband, one of my favorites. Arms are wide, and you go behind you and in front. Behind you, this is dynamic flexibility. Let me turn so you can see. The band is in front, and then the band is behind. And make sure you don't have to wiggle your body or contort it to do it. Just stretch out your arms more. Nice, Jean. Now we're going to find 3 places that feel amazing. So behind you, hold. 5, in. Yeah, we'll do 3 different ones. 4, 3, 2. Now find a place that's different, maybe an inch lower. 5. Now find a different place. 5. Good. And then let those arms out, and you can just shake them out and release them. Really good. Now we're going to take a band under the same side heel. So if your right hand has the band, you're going to step on the heel, with your heel. Now go forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now the other one, step on it. Same side heel that your hand has. The exhale can lift you. 4, good. 5, good. It's easy to turn the body away, but stay square. 6, 7, resist on the way down. 8, front raise. 9, anterior delts. 11, neck is soft. 12, jaw is relaxed. 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Really nice. Now we're going to take the band. Actually, just relax it somehow, whatever you need to do. And let me just show you. We're going to take a little, it's like you have clothes on the laundry line and the wind's blowing. So just loose sleeves. This is a qigong move. You're just releasing. Your hands can actually almost hit you on the front and the back. 4, there you just are letting go. 2, a little bit of a back release. 2, and then let's take that band again into the front. So your hands are kind of like parallel to the floor V. Make sure you're good beside you, and you're going to pull out. Now your band probably hit your sternum here. 2, the hands are just below the shoulders. 3, 4, 5, 6, you can feel a little bit of the scapular retraction here. So the scapula, the shoulder blades come closer together. Not with tension, but they're adducting, the scapula coming together. Breathing. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now take the arms a little closer. I like, if you have a elastic tubing, you can hold onto the belly button where the band hits the handle, but if you don't worry. So if you have if you have a band, just hold on to the end. One hand's your anchor, the other hand's just going to push out. So it's almost like a bow and arrow, and push out. 3, 4, 5. This hand is doing really just holding, the other one's working. Just take 5 more. 11, straightening and bending. Now we're going to take the other one, so just use the hand that you worked as an anchor this time and straighten the other one. Just use one hand to hold the band still, the body stable. Resist as much as you're pushing out, but you're also resisting. 7, 8, just a bow and arrow. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Now I'm gonna let this down for a moment and take a set of push-ups. You can take them on the wall, especially if your wrists do not like to be on the floor. The further away you get is harder. You can also take them on your knees and in a planky kind of motion, modified plank. I'm just looking at you for feedback. Yes. All right, maybe 15 or so. Good, I can see you. 4, good. Cole, 5, good. 6, keep lifting the ribs. 7, nice, Karen. 8, 9. Now if you can, do 5 more. 11, 12. You should almost feel like you're doing a plank here. The abs are involved. And then come up. And then you're going to interlace your fingers at the low back and lift your arms. So it's like this little shoulder chest stretch. Again, release. And then we're going to take some weight. So let's take a sip if you need to. We're going to do some biceps. Heavier weights. It could be a 5, 6, 7. The thing is, since we all are we're in a group, what you could do is start with something, and then if you need to change weights, you can, or if you just need to rest, you can, so that you just make it work for you. 4, and keep the shoulders open. 5, in other words, the shoulders don't poke forward. 6, your wrists are neutral, or 7, if you need to change them, you can. I'm looking. 8, your knees are soft. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and you're breathing. 14. Now let's say you need to change weights to a lighter weight. You can, or let's say you just need to hold the weight low for a couple of reps. You can, so you can mix it up. Now, everybody looks good, so let's do one more. Now you're going to carefully lower that down so that it's out of the way. Now you know how we have the feet a little bit wider? Let your arms be like those loose sleeves. Breathing. We're going to be sneaking in some wrist stretches, so hold hands with yourself like you're just interlacing the fingers. Now move your wrist and then the other way. Think about putting lotion on the inside of your wrist. It's a synovial fluid, like a WD-40 of the joints. A little shake. I'll tell you, this one's going to be an upright row. We have this bending lever again, so it can be a heavier weight. It can be, and I'm just guessing here for us, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there. But you're going to take, also with these exercises, you can always go to a band if that serves you better than a weight, or a weight if that serves you better than your band. And Jean, let your elbow be higher than your wrist. So right here, 6, your elbow, yeah, there you go. 7, good. Check your knees, they're soft. Check your breathing, it's regular. Check your neck. Good, Betty, that looks good. Now you could be resting, you could grab a lighter weight, you could keep going. One more. Now lower that down, and we're going to take the arms out like a T, pull the fingers under, and then act like I'm behind you and I'm pulling your wrist. I'm going to show you from the side. So your fingers are pulled under and back. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now very similar. Flip your hands this way. Pull the fingers under and act like I'm behind you and I'm pulling your hands back. 5. So there's a lesser stretch here, a more stretch here, but just find where you need. 5. Yep, 4, 3, 2, good, and just shake it out. We're going to take a heavier weight, so it could be you take a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and I'm going to come in close just so you can see me. I'm actually going to kneel too, but you can see me closer. Put your one weight in your hand. Now, if you don't have a heavier weight, you could do 2 smaller weights. So let's say you had 2 3s or 2 4s, or yeah. Bend. And you remember how we did this on the dynaband? We called it shave the back of the head. Good. And if it feels like your low back is harder to manage standing because you have more joints to stand, you can do this seated in a chair as well. I'm just super comfortable kneeling, so it's easier for me to kneel than to find a chair to show. 7, 8. And your elbows are lengthening. I'm just checking. You guys look good. 10. Pull your hips back a little bit, Jean. Just a little bit, yeah. You're trying not to get in your neck. Good, Betty. It's just like an easy little trick, isn't it, to see? Now, it could be that you do 5 more. It could be you say, I've had enough. I'm fatigued at the final reps. 17, 18. Triceps are really important for preventing hip fractures, because that's generally, if you fall on your arm, and if your arm's not strong enough, this isn't strong enough, you fall on your hip. So let's take a tricep stretch. I'm going to stay in close for that. Just bend one elbow and let your hand catch it. Now lean away from that arm that you're stretching. Should feel so good. I love this one. Any kind of forward or open rotation gets the, and then let's switch sides, gets the back and gets the shoulder differently. Lean away, and you can try, if you lean forward a little or rotate forward, it's more back. If you rotate up, it's a little more oblique. Breathe into the side you're stretching. Now, give yourself some blood flow. And then let's do that one you were doing, Cole. This is one of my favorites. Let's take this one. Cow face. Looks good. Karen, that's gotten better, huh? Yeah, I can tell. It's great. This one, for me, if I don't practice it, it's like a quickly diminishing skill set. But if I keep it up, I can easier maintain it, and it's like I'm doing nothing. So just see what you notice with the stretches. But this, for example, the dominant arm coming back is generally, or the dominant arm coming back, so for me that'd be right, it's harder for most people to do this. So if you keep it in your system, it seems a lot easier to maintain. So the consistency is more important than, you know, a big stretch session once a month. It'd be better to do, just sneak it in the week. All right, let that go. Nice. Now this next one is going to be weights that you will do a lateral raise to. So it will be a smaller weight, because you can see it's a longer lever, and I am going to grab a sip too. So if you would like, grab a sip, but maybe like a 3, 4, 5, 6, somewhere in there. Cactus berry juice, my fave. Okay. Your feet are probably about hip width apart. You're gonna, even though you're opening up like a T, the hands are slightly ahead of your body. They're not drifting behind you. It's called the scapular plane. 5, 6, looking, everybody looks good. 7, I tend to cue conservatively, so hands below your shoulder height is not necessary, but we're going to just keep it that way for high benefit, low risk. Your wrists look good to me. They're pretty neutral. If you're getting tired and you need to change to a lighter weight, it's called a drop set, and you just quickly go to a lighter weight. Or if you need to just hold out for a couple reps and then join when you can. All right, let that down. And then let's take a finger behind you. Oh, fingers interlace and lift. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, inhale. Now, it's not going to be aggressive, but just take your arm over and then cross that same side foot, and you can rotate and enjoy this half moon. 5, 4, 3, 2, come up and over. 5, 4, 3, 2, and inhale and exhale. Now shake it out. Let me show you the next one. It's going to be this frontal raise. So we may need a lighter, slightly lighter weight. For example, I'm going to use a little bit lighter weight. And again, you can always change your weights. in the middle and do a drop set where you just finish out with a slightly lighter weight. So don't feel locked in. You can also just wait a couple out and then join when you can. Forward. Yeah, that makes sense. 4. Good. Now your wrists are fairly flat. 5. Good call. 6. 7. You could tell in this one the body would be tempted to lean back. 8. But we're not letting that happen. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. So let's say your weight's getting heavier. 15. You could wait a couple out. You could grab a lighter weight. 16. 17. 18. 19. And 20. Now let that down. And this one is arm across. So act like you're patting yourself on your back, but move your wrist in little circles in each way. Other side, take it across, move your wrist in a circle, and the other way. All right, now the next one is overhead press. So I'm going to get in close. Again, you may want to sit in a chair. It's a military press, or you may, I'm a kneeler. Yeah, I'm a kneeler. So for me, it's like super comfortable, but you can sit in a chair. Now, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, and then up. Now, Ben, there's this little place where it kind of rests like a shelf. Good, I'm looking. 3, good. When your arms go up, especially with a weight, this is just not here, but with your life, like if you're reaching for something in high closet, your ribs will almost naturally try to poke forward. So keep the ab tone. Even though your arms are lifting, you're not lifting your shoulders. Your traps are not lifting up your arms. Your deltoids are. Good. Sometimes that slightly wider position helps stay out of the traps. Everybody's looking good. Good, Jean. Betty, you might be able to lengthen your elbows more unless there's something going on that I don't know. When you go up, is that okay? Yeah, okay. 17. And it may be that they're getting tired. 18, yeah, okay. 19. 20. Now, the weights, I'm just going to put right here. Put one arm up, and so you notice we do this stretch a lot in our classes. That's a great place to lengthen the elbow. Some people get really rigid, and then their stretch looks like this. So without the weight, it's a little easier place to practice. And you can even imagine I'm pulling your arm, or if you would like, pull your own arm. Inhale. Lateral flexion is really important for breathing muscles, posture, and the back. Now on the other side, you go over and just lengthen that elbow. Act like yesterday looked like a full moon. I don't know if it was. It just was huge. But act like you're a crescent moon. So you're lengthening, but you're laterally flexed. You can pull it if that helps. Like in class when I used to pull. Yep. Just see. Now this one is called the rack posture. So when your arms are down, take your hands behind you, fingers towards each other, or sorry, fingers away from you. Lift up your heart. Soften the elbows and lift up. Now your breath is part of the stretch. Send the breath to the front, chest, the left, the right. then exhale. All right, I am going to tilt my screen down a little bit and get us in a little closer. Just stay seated and grab your band if you don't have it. That way we can wrap it around your feet. Okay, so you're going to grab a band. And actually, this is one of those. You can grab 2 bands or 1. I'll demo. These tubings have different colors, and so do the bands. So that's why this one's a back muscle group, so it's strong. So you could do 2 if you want. Like if you go, oh, I can't feel it. Cross those ropes or rope. Hold on to your band, kind of palm up generally, and bend your elbows. So try it, and then you'll know. As soon as you start pulling, you should feel some tension. In other words, you don't want it to be so loose that you don't feel it till your elbows are past your ribs. You want to feel it when you start. Now, as far as comfort, the bands usually are comfortable where the heel meets the arch. There's this 5th metatarsal, lateral, the pinky bone, but down towards your heel, that kind of sticks out and it doesn't feel good. There's a styloid process there, so usually the band just below that, but above the heel feels good. Bend your elbows. It's okay if you feel your biceps. You also want to feel your rear delt. Of course, you're working your muscles that keep your spine in axial extension or lengthen. Your neck is not working too much. You just are having your head float effortlessly on your spine. Good, Jean. Good, Karen. Good, Betty. Good, Michelle. Good call. Good. So I'm trying to work it on the way in and the way out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, just 1 band. If you had 2, you only have 1. And you're going to take imagine you're hugging a tree backwards, or that you're making a rounded T backwards. This is rear fly. Good. The hands are lower than your shoulders. 6, 7, 8. Neck is soft. Give yourself a little breather. Cross the rope or band. Take your hand in the opposite. Glue your elbows by your side. Open up. Now if you have the dynaband, you might be opening. Yeah, you might be, it's like that, Betty. You might be feeling like it's easier to hold that band without twisting your wrist. I always think of the old Jerry and Seinfeld episode where Elaine's dancing with her thumbs. It's kind of like that, though. It's like you're opening out. Notice how your chest and shoulders stay open. You're not letting them poke forward. 5, it's like a door opening. 4, keep your elbows by your side on this one. Actually glue your elbows in tight. Good, good call. 2. Give a little release. Walk your hands in closer. Now, you're going to rotate cleanly in your torso, meaning your pelvis stays anchored, and you rotate and pull, and then return. And then you rotate and pull. So you have a couple things going on, right? Your pelvis is anchored, Velcro to the floor, but when you rotate, you're also pulling. And you rotate, and you rotate, and you rotate. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. uncross. Now imagine a flat-ish X. One arm's higher than the other. Not from the torso, but from the arms. So keep the torso the same. One arm's a little higher, one arm's a little lower. And stretch back. Now rear fly, rear shoulders. You'll feel the muscles on the back of the shoulders. So you know we accent those posterior chain muscles because much of our life is forward, our eyes are forward, our hobbies are forward, most of them. And so this is one reason we accent the back body to keep it able to support our front body, keep our body upright easier, shoulders healthier, back healthier. Now do me a favor and lean back and take a bicep curl. Bend your elbows. If it's too easy, grab more band. If your back doesn't like to lean back in this little scoop, stay upright and just do the biceps there. So you just make it what you need in a group class with, yeah, and that knee bend, that was good, Cole. That will let your low back articulate easier, flex easier. All right, 5. These are your carrying muscles. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then take a little breather, take a sip. We're gonna do a chest press with some heavier weights, but your option, you know how we did push-ups earlier? You could just do push-ups. So it's up to you. Where's my, okay. So we're gonna be lying down. Let me show you the motion, and those of you who've been doing it with me. So you're gonna be, this is what we're gonna do lying down. Your elbows are gonna be straightening, but we're gonna do this angle, look at my arm, and not this. Does that make sense? So when we push our weight, it's gonna be like that, not that, okay? Not, the elbow is lower than the shoulder height. So let me grab my other weight. Now I'm demoing it. I just wanted to show you without a weight so you don't have to look and turn your head while you have this weight in your hand. Feet are on the floor, good. And you can probably open them up a little bit higher, Cole. I didn't want to exaggerate too much, but yeah, you're good. All right, you ready? I just don't want the elbow to drift up to the shoulder height, but because we're not vertical, I just wanted to show it when we were. So your ends of your weight kiss at the top and then lower, and then they can kiss at the top and exhale. Now, see if you feel your ribs on the floor. If you don't, you might like to lift the feet up and pull them in or put your head on a pillow. Exhale. Make sure your low back isn't more arched off the floor. You're not doing this with your back muscles. You're doing this with your chest and tris. Now lower those down for a moment and take a full body stretch. So your arms without the weights could be overhead. You can shift your arms and legs, and Betty, if you want to while you're stretching, you can lengthen your elbows. Yeah. Now you're going to do a chest fly. So basically your feet are on the floor. I'll show you without a weight. Pretend there's a tree in front of you and you hug a tree. Now your arms aren't above your shoulders to your ears. They're over the sternum more or less. Now if you may need a lighter weight, and that's okay. Do not let the hand weights touch the floor. You're just opening up your arms in this little circular motion. I'd rather you do less than more if you're not as sure. Nothing should hurt your shoulders. Nothing should hurt your shoulders. And you can kind of keep this roundedness to your arm on this one, and actually, Cole, both ends of your weights touch. So right here, turn your hands and they touch each other. Right there. And then open. Good. Okay, that's it. Exhale. Five. Your shoulders should feel easy here. If not, do a lighter weight or change the range of motion usually. Now take a full body stretch, arms overhead, and I need to grab my foam roller here and grab a sip of water. And if you have stuff that's in your way, like I do, just make a little space because we're going to use our foam roller and it's a little bigger. So just make a little space. Get your foam roller, grab a sip. Stretch your legs back on the ground. Your elbows go wide. Now, you could do this on the floor. So if you don't have a foam roller, you can do it on the floor. Put the pinky side of your hand on the foam roller. Lift up. And if that roller drives you crazy cold, then you could just do this on the floor and go up. Good. All right. Inhaling as you lift and exhaling as you lower. Inhaling as you lift. I know in a traditional weight training class, this is not an exercise, but I care highly about thoracic extensors and posture muscles that tend to get neglected. So we're doing it. We're going up. Now your triceps are also working here as you keep the elbows in extension. We're going to stay and hold in a place that you can hold 10 for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now lower, we're going to do that 2 more times of 10. So come up, hold 10, 9, because these are endurance muscles, right? Their job is to hold us upright all day. 5, 4, 3, 2, and lower. Now one more time, come up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Lower, and if you want, take a child pose. I like to keep my arms on top of the foam roller so I get a little more stretch. If your feet have been cramping or you just want a foot stretch, pull your toes under and get them too. 5. And then come up. Now this is more abs, so you can use the foam roller on the other side of your body. Toes towards each other. Elbows on your mat. Now internally rotate means your toes are towards each other. That's the way you roll out your shin and not your bones. Now if you don't like the foam roller or you don't have it, you're going to do a plank, and you could even alternate right and left knee in like a flamingo. If you do have a foam roller and you want to use it, you're going to bend your knees and then straighten them. So you're doing an inchworm and under and extend. Yeah, there you go. Abs. Hey Michelle, we did some swan and now we're doing some core abs. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest. Now this time we're going to do knees to the left corner plank, then knees to the right corner. It's an oblique inchworm, so let your forearms down. Now you're going to take your knees kind of to your left elbow and then a plank, and then take your knees to the right elbow, and then your knees to the left elbow, plank, knees to the right. Yep. Just do the best you can. If your roller doesn't feel great with that cold, just in and out like you're doing great or holding steady. Main thing is, our intention is to work the abs. 4, 3, 2, 1, and recover. I'm going to grab a sip. If you would like, grab a sip, and then we're going to do pike with our plank. Your forearms are on the mat. Your hips, they go up. So another image could be like an upside down V, or like a dolphin. they go up. For your neck, when you lift your hips, you kind of change your gaze more underneath you. So your neck's just going along for the ride. 4, 3, 2, 1, recover. The next one is pike with a little bit of a left lift and then plank, and then pike with a little bit of a right lift and then plank. So I'll show you plank. Now lift your hips kind of left and then go plank. Lift your hips kind of right and go plank. Lift your hips left. Lift your hips right. Lift your hips left. Leave the knees pretty long. It's hard to do that perfectly, right? All right, one more each. And then recover. Woo! Now, I'd like to offer a couple of stretches here. If you have a 3-feet roller, one of your stretches that I'd like to offer is your pelvis at one end, your head at the other. Cole, I'm wondering if we can do this with like a block or two to make your foam roller longer. So I'm wondering if we put your, see that? Yeah, okay, now when you lie down, let me just see, does that feel like you could put your head on your block and your, yes. Is that working okay? Yeah. Now flip your hands to face the sky, like the, I'm just gonna say what it is, external rotation. Are you good, Jean? Yeah, there you go. Now for most of us, a big stretch will be when you're in a T or a Y with your arms. But if that's too much, like Karen, that looks good. When you do that and you kind of flop, do your hands touch the floor? That's generally a place that's safe. So if you go up really high and your arms are like shaking and they're not on the floor, then that's too high. Or if it pokes your shoulders forward. Now, passive shoulder stretch, passive chest stretch. If you would like another stretch, you can do this little bound angle supine. I love this one where your feet soles together and your knees go out wide. And let everything go. It's very important to know how to contract muscles, but it's also just as important to know how to relax them at will so they're not chronically holding on to tension. You notice during your day, as you navigate things in your day, your body responds by tightening up to a perception of stress. So as you observe that, you release those muscles you don't need. For example, the fist or the upper traps, or the jaw, or the eyes, or the forehead. So right now, we're practicing letting those muscles go. How free can you be? And just let the breath expand through the ribs. The chest and the belly. Scan your body one more time and see if there's any tension you can let go of. Give yourself a moment of total peace in the body, mind, breath. There's nothing to figure out, no past, no future. Now, whenever you're ready, you can slowly make your way up towards a seated position facing the front of the room. So let your eyes still stay soft, and we'll put one hand on the heart and the other over the heart. And just let your body be as easy as you can. You can imagine a stack of stones or rocks. They call them cairns, where they guide you through the trails. And you're just effortlessly stacking the bones on each other, so you don't have to work at all. Breathe into the heart space. Notice how it feels to have taken care of your body, which is the physical vessel for your spirit. Notice how good it feels to let yourself have full inhales and exhales, and to give your mind a break. And today is a new day. Today I'm going to appreciate all of the beauties and treasures within me and without me, within me and around me. So just take a moment to absorb that intention. And whenever you're ready, you can come back into the room. And with much appreciation, thank you guys so much. You did so good. Thank you so much. Happy Tuesday, and I'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Bye.